So your risk is mitigated because you don't have to put up so much capital investment up front. Yeah? I presume you have to invest in your equipment, in machinery, in R&D, etc. Okay? And in this respect, it is extremely important that you have a partnership. And I'm glad that you are using university science. As all of you know, USM has been designated to be the site for our Malaysian Institute for Pharmaceuticals and Nutraceuticals, MIPN, okay, which is one of the 3 biotech institutes set up under the biotech policy. And we must thank our Prime Minister, Berhad, after being disturbed by me many times. But it's not because of my disturbance, but because USM truly deserves it. Ada orang USM di sini tepuk sikit lah. Because USM has the longest, I wouldn't say oldest, not so nice, longest and still the largest, and I presume the best, School of Pharmaceutical Sciences. If USM had started earlier, I'm sure Mr. Hia would have gone to USM and not NUS, Singapore. Okay? So, this partnership again between industry and university is what we are actively encouraging. And I'm glad that you're doing it without even being pushed by the government. But this is something which we would like to definitely promote, which is a smart partnership, another level of smart partnership on R&D. And this is important because the area of pharmaceuticals and biotech is definitely full of great potentials and yet tremendous challenges. I say great potential because the whole pharmaceutical industry, patent-protected pharmaceutical industry, has almost $600 billion US market. I think the latest figure is 570 billion or something like that. But close your eyes, in less than a year, it's 600 billion US. While the generic pharmaceutical, for the off-patent products, is also growing very fast. It's now almost 80 billion, right? While the biotech industry, which is growing, is now 70 billion, right? So if you add all this together, we are talking about 750 billion, soon to be 1 trillion US dollars. And definitely, it will continue to grow as more scientific research give rise to more products, okay? And Malaysia definitely will have to be aiming for part of the cake. And we are glad that the biotech policy launched by our Prime Minister a few years ago is beginning to take roots and to bear some fruits, okay? And this is indeed one of the best examples of how private sector initiative combined with university professors like Professor Khaludin here and also USM and supported by real property investor, but with the government's backing, right? Combine all this to have the third win, the win for the country, for Malaysia as a whole. And indeed, Penang is putting our building blocks of the biopharmaceutical industry, brick by brick, and you are actually a very important cornerstone, right, of this growing biopharmaceutical industry. We have now, under certification, a facility for toxicology, the preclinical trials. We also have another facility which is for contract manufacturing of monoclonal antibodies for the big pharmaceuticals to carry out their clinical trials worldwide. And we also have good hospitals here in Penang that have been participating now in clinical trials, some even sponsored by the US National Institute of Health, NIH. That means it's very high level, okay? And all this, in a way, coordinated through the University of Science, USU Science. There is now a setup in U Science to support clinical research, clinical trials in hospitals. So all that added together means that we are able to build this industry, but in a very pragmatic way, all right? With government giving support, with private entrepreneurs coming in, with the university participating, and indeed, if we are talking about, you know, the future, we are beginning to see the future, the beginning of the future. And I want to congratulate Hi-Tech Bioscience for having taken this very important step. And I want to also congratulate saya ucapkan tahniah kepada Amanah Raya kerana berpandangan jauh untuk bukan saja menyertai di dalam pasaran harta secara biasa, tetapi membuat sesuatu yang luar biasa, tetapi amat bermakna dan amat berfaedah. So dengan ini, oleh kerana suara tak mengizinkan, maka saya tak bertanya apa. Otherwise I can go on and bore you. So dengan ini, saya sekali lagi ucapkan selamat berjaya kepada Dr. Berhad. Thank you.